thing.
You're telling me when I switch to T-Mobile, you'll give me an iPhone 16 Pro, you'll help pay off my old phone, and I still get to keep it?
That's right. No trade-in.
What's up, SO peeps? Thank you for hanging out with us this afternoon for the Europa League final. Tottenham Hotspur against Manchester United, the biggest, the baddest, the best club in the world, fighting for a chance at Europe next season. We appreciate you hanging out with us. I am your host, TSI/SOP Mike. We're waiting on a plaque. It's on the delivery truck. We're ready. It can come at any time. And the Europa League final is kicking up right now. We're going to take you to some pregame action. We'll maybe let True run for a few minutes as well. And wow, look at that stadium in Bilbao. Manchester United was just there with a shellacking of Bilbao in the semifinal. And now the final awaits. Thank you for joining us. Good luck to your team. I hope it's Manchester United. Go MUFC, go. And in True's words, come on!
You wrote a book about Spurs and Pochettino at that time and all that, so you know a little bit more from the inside about the club. What do you think they need to do today?
I think they've learned to play in Europe. They are a bit more solid. The back four is one of the best back fours of the competition. They know how to stop a team attacking, and they are effective up front. But how about United? I sense the fans don't want to lose. No. They've got a bit of fear. Will the players have the same?
These guys don't want to lose. I don't think they're fearful. I don't think the players are fearful. Unfortunately, they've lost enough games this season not to be fearful of losing. They're used to that. I've been watching their warm-up. They are fired up for this. You can see it. You can smell it. It's a final. You know, it's one opportunity to erase everything bad that has happened this season. They win this game. They're in Europe in the Champions League next year. That's big.
Just short. Onana, you think he'll be important today?
Well, I think every player has got to play well. But Onana, of course, with all the pressure he's been on personally, needs to bring in a big performance. And when he played the final last time for Inter, he did. So he can do it.
He did. Back to you, Anita.
Thank you, Peter. Thank you, Guillaume. As you can see on your screen there, the opening ceremony is taking place. Bilbao is ready, the fans are ready, and Tottenham Hotspur and Manchester United are ready and waiting. They'll be coming out of the tunnel shortly for a huge game that could change the narrative for both of these teams. The Europa League final stage is set. Stay with us. It's kickoff after this.
I want you to imagine waking up tomorrow. How do you feel? No, how do you want to feel?
A new head coach.
Make it about us. We beat the odds.
And her new assistant.
Hey, Google, find me an alternate route, because you decide the outcome.
And a must-win game.
No, we decide the outcome.
And the vision and a car that always delivers.
Bring it in! I want you to imagine waking up tomorrow.
The all-new 2025 Equinox and Chevrolet. Together, let's drive.
Trajectories and shot shapes. And this is the 9, little bunt 9 from 122.
Yeah, saute variety.
Hey, whoa. What's this? You keep dog food in the fridge?
It's not dog food. It's fresh pat. Real meat, real veggies from my boy Junior.
What are we doing here?
Anybody asks, we were at Grandma's.
Back to 9. And now Kucher.
It's all happening too fast.
What, you nervous about the wedding?
No, it's the house, dude. We got approved.
Bro, don't stress. This house, it's the one.
Speaking of the one, caterer. We need a caterer.
Let's talk salary.
Great. What do you typically offer for this role?
It's competitive.
So is it like competitive salary, or is it like competitive salary?
It's somewhere between competitive and competitive.
Right, and then the number would be...
competitive.
With Indeed, you can avoid awkward salary conversations from the start.
Oh, a number.
What do you mean a number?
It's an actual number.
Sarah Benzino, Brandon Coley,
Jablonski Auto Body, LLC.
What'd she call Harper?
Oh, you mean Jablonski Auto Body LLC.
We actually sold the twins naming rights.
You know, like stadiums do. Kids are so expensive these days. Here he comes.
Oasis Breeze Tan and Spa.
If you need a tan, I'm your man. Could do business with you.
Or we can look at some investment options for you.
Works for us.
The right money moves aren't as absurd as you think.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, there we have it. What's up? Good to see you. Afternoon for the Europa League final. Manchester United has one shot, and one shot alone, to make it to play in European soccer next season. That's it. It's today. Thank you for hanging out with us. Good to see everybody here in the chat. What do we got? We got Connor in the house. We got Stefan in the house. I'm froze. Am I still frozen? How about now? No, I think I should be good now. I think I'm good now. All right, so the players are out. It's raining there in Bilbao. We've got the kids running around with the flags. They've got the logos and they're spinning around. I don't know how these kids aren't getting dizzy. Oh my gosh, that'd drive me crazy. Running around like that, but it should be a great game this afternoon. All right, there's the trophy being walked out to the center of the pitch. True, make sure you guys check out True's episode that aired last night. We can probably run a little bit through that as well, but let's go over the lineups real quick while we can. You know what? We'll wait for the next break. No, I don't know if there is going to be a break, because the players are right there in the tunnel ready to come out for the final. Both teams need this one. Spurs and United. Starting lineups for Spurs. Vicario in goal. Udogie on the left. Van de Ven and Romero in the middle. Pedro Porro on the right. Sarr, Bissouma, and Betancourt in the middle, with Richarlison, Solanke, and Johnson up top, the forwards in this one. For United, they come out in a 3-4-2-1 formation, and guess who's back, ladies and gentlemen? Amad Diallo is back. Thank goodness. Højlund up front, Mason Mount as well in that attacking mid, that cam spot there with Amad Diallo. Those two guys work really well together. Hopefully they can get some good service to Højlund up top, breaking through those runs like the Poacher Plus on EAFC. The midfield, Mazraoui on the right mid spot, Casemiro and Bruno. Captain Bruno Fernandes right there in the midfield. Everything runs through Bruno. If he has a good game today, so will Manchester United. Dorgu on the left, the backs, the three center backs, the superstar, Yoro, the man, the myth, the legend, Harry Maguire, and Luke Shaw. Rounded out by Onana at the back. Hopefully Onana pulls his life together today and has a strong showing. The players are walking out. Let's take it out there for that one. Thank you for hanging out with us. There's Stefan in the chat. What's up, Stefan? Good to see you, brother. And there's I'm kind of debating if I want to do the championship playoff final Saturday morning or not, trying to plan my summer schedule around work schedule, which would be nonstop. I understand the nonstop working thing, Connor. Trust me, I understand. There's Carmen over in the chat. What's up, Carmen? Go, MUFC, go. Good to see you today. Cheers with my Coke from lunch at work. Speaking of that, let's get to the soccer, and I'll handle my business over here. Cheers, everybody.
There's a guarantee with Champions League qualification. It's money that's needed to finance a sporting revival at both clubs. We often say that players are playing for their futures in these big end-of-season showdowns. That's never been more true of this evening's players. They are on deal or no deal island. The English Premier League never lies. You're only as good as your results, and you can't escape the fact that Spurs and United are both in the bottom five of those standings. Results as bad as anyone can remember, but they are two of the three best supported teams in that league. The loyalty, the potential, the pressure on them to put smiles on those faces is colossal. It's been billed as a full English final. There are 4 Englishmen in the final. Both squads have been racked by injuries all season. Ange Postecoglou has lost the services of Dejan Kulusevski since the semi-final win. So his only change from the lineup that faced Bodo Glimt is for Pat Sarr to replace Kulusevski. Son Heung-min is fit only for a place on the bench. So Christian Romero captains the side. James Maddison and Lucas Bergwall are the other unlucky frontline players to miss the final through injury. UEFA have chosen a German to keep order. Felix Weyer, real estate man from Berlin, is the referee. And just in case you're making plans for later, 3 of the last 4 Europa League finals have been decided by penalty shootouts. Ruben Amorim gave United fans a sneak preview of his final plans in their last game on Friday. Just one change from the 11 that played and lost at Chelsea. Lenny Yoro is fit to return after 10 days out nursing a foot injury. It's 3 changes in all from the semi-final against Athletic Bilbao, with Amad Diallo and Mason Mount forcing their way into the team ahead of Ugarte and Garnacho. Joshua Zirkzee and Diogo Dalot are fit for the bench. Manchester United were here in Northern Spain just 3 weeks ago. They only went and beat the Pride of Bilbao Athletic Club in the semi-finals. They didn't get the script for that one. Won here and spoiled the party. All too rare, good recent memories to draw upon. Another strange aspect of what is a very, very strange occasion, Rob Green.
It's been a surreal run and a surreal final for both teams, for both clubs, and the fact that they're both here is nothing short of a miracle. What will cap off monumentally bad seasons for the club with a huge prize, like you say, Clive?
Incidentally, Tottenham Hotspur have never won a UEFA competition game in Spain. They lost the Champions League final in Madrid 6 years ago. Well, there'll be no consolation, no escape for the defeated tonight. It's a horrible final to lose. No gallant losers here this evening, no sympathy, no pats on the back for all your efforts during the year. It is a high-stakes, high-jeopardy game. It's Squid Game on grass. Red light, green light. Tottenham Hotspur and Manchester United first met in the 19th century. Over 200 encounters since then. They have played against each other in European competition before. They have contested a cup final before, but never one quite like this. 500 miles from the English coastline, an English civil war on foreign soil. Tottenham Hotspur in the all-white to kick off. Immediate test for Lenny Yoro back in the Manchester United lineup. Amad Diallo will play as a right wing back, combining with Bruno Fernandes, and the changes in the Manchester United team enable Fernandes to come into the centre, the core of the side.
Yeah, and it's an interesting one, isn't it? The change for Manchester United in there brings Euro in, and his ability to drive forward in that 3-4-3 that Manchester United have out of the defence is key, and such a big part of their game. I'll be looking to see Mason Mount. He's been ticking recently. Amad Diallo has been really sharp. In behind someone, a beleaguered centre forward, Rasmus Højlund. Can he find his feet on the biggest stage? For Spurs, you're looking at them and they're pretty much a similar 4-3-3. They've gone for Sarr, they've gone for legs, they've gone for drive in midfield to get around Casemiro and Fernandes. Pedro Porro, right back, is probably one of the most creative players in their team now. Crosses to the far post with Solanke and Richarlison is going to be one of their key threats.
Porro unable to get forward against Dorgu. And Manchester United were here in Bilbao for that semi-final 3 weeks ago. They were 3-0 up by half-time. 3 goals in the last 15 minutes of that first half. Both clubs won their semi-finals without too much fuss after dramatic quarter-finals. But their dramas have never been far away from Tottenham Hotspur and Manchester United all season long. Too many. Bentancur finds Bissouma. Johnson has got pace and will try to scratch his legs against Luke Shaw. Shaw has to concede a corner.
Well, he's not happy with it, but he might have to get used to that tonight, Clive. He might have to get used to running towards his own goal, because Tottenham has got a point as well there, hasn't he? Tottenham in Europe, they've sat tight, and they've gone long. They've used the physicality. Solanke, Richarlison, Brennan Johnson's running power. Ange ball, high pressing has gone out the window a little bit.
Corner kick that Tottenham Hotspur probably shouldn't have. Pedro Porro will take it. And foul by Bentancur on Maguire has relieved any embarrassment that the German referee might have had. Something come from that.
Yeah, handily rectifies the situation, doesn't it? We're back to where we should have been.
100th game in charge of Tottenham for Ange Postecoglou. He's come this far, he wants to finish what he started. He didn't take a backward step in his media briefing yesterday. Mate, he's bullish by nature. His team are usually bullish in style. They haven't scored in their last 2 games. They've never gone 3 without a goal under his management. But as Rob mentioned, they were watchful in the semi-final against Bodo Glimt. Had less than 50% possession in both legs of that match against fairly modest Norwegian opponents. They bossed that semi-final, and they didn't boss the ball.
There's another battle. We'll get used to Romero on Højlund, and we just saw that Casemiro's going up with him for the long ball forward, I think.
Shaw will take the free kick. Maguire always seems to win the ball. It was a horribly sliced, attempted clearance by Destiny Udogie, and it's resulted in a corner kick for Manchester United this time.
Nervous from Tottenham, nervous defending. Romero knew he was outflanked. Udogie didn't hash of it, and weaknesses, set pieces. Manchester United have certainly got strength and attacking power. They scored goals in previous rounds from this Fernandes corner.
Maguire, number 5, is such a force in the air, his set pieces. Bruno Fernandes takes this one. Tottenham managed to smuggle it away as far as Luke Shaw. Mazraoui. Bruno Fernandes looking to keep the attack alive. Vicario came out to claim it and didn't get it, and Højlund has found Banana and Bruno Fernandes, and still he hit Mount. He was crowded out in the end, but it was a dicey moment back there for Tottenham Hotspur. Luke Shaw, Mason Mount.
A really unclear thinking from Tottenham. There's no clarity in the defending at the minute. 5 minutes in, and in a final, in a cup final, you're looking and you've got heightened senses. You want to get involved in the game. Vicario is an excitable goalkeeper. He's certainly made a rash decision there.
It's his first season in European competition. He made some good saves in Alkmaar. He made some really good saves late in Frankfurt. He's just picked up an award in England for the April Save of the Month in the English Premier League, but he made costly errors in recent games against Wolverhampton Wanderers and Nottingham Forest. And it was his judgment, his punching, his rather rash nature coming for the ball. Given away by Dorgu. This is Johnson. Maguire. Casemiro swept forward to Amad Diallo. Casemiro. Bissouma all over him. Free kick.
It's tetchy and frantic, isn't it? In 5 minutes, team's giving away the ball, and Casemiro just taking the foul and accepting just to try and get a calm on it.
Lost as many games as he's won since taking on the job 6 months ago. Ruben Amorim. He's only 14. You get the impression that Manchester United have invested in him and his ideas for the long term, but just what long term is in elite sport always depends, certainly to a degree, on the next result. And results have not been good enough so far. This is Richarlison. It was a rather high challenge by Casemiro, but he got the ball. Mazraoui. Breakdown in communication with Amad Diallo, but Manchester United have the throw.
Just poor clearance from Onana, put Manchester United under pressure, and Tottenham couldn't capitalise. But you just see the temptation for both teams. Just get the ball forward as quick as you can, and just need to get a grip on the game.
Wayland trying to hold off Basuma. Did so successfully for a gain of 20 yards or so. Spurs, and the club do prefer being called Spurs to Tottenham, by the way. Spurs have beaten Manchester United 3 times already this season. 3 wins in which they've scored 8 goals. The last goalless game between the two was more than 10 years ago. United haven't managed to win any of the last 6 meetings. But in that 125 years of history with Spurs, they've never before lost 4 in a row. But then never before has entered the vocabulary of both clubs this season, all too frequently and not usually too positively. Manchester United trusting Onana's ability with the ball at his feet. It was seen as one of his strong points when he was signed from Inter Milan.
You just see that Harry Maguire, and it's an interesting trait that Manchester United have. He steps out of the defence when they have it to allow Onana the ball. That in turn brings pressure onto themselves, because they just, Tottenham will just press straight through him and straight onto Onana.
Bentancur. Basuma back to Romero wearing that captain's armband. Here's Pedro Porro. Onana misjudged that. It was very good defending by Mazraoui, because Richarlison was next in the queue for that searching cross.
Yeah, and there it is. Porro just getting the ball out of his feet. He talked about it at kick-off, Clive, and he just knows, just hit the far post, because Richarlison's there. He's got a height advantage on Mazraoui. Solanke's brilliant at attacking the ball, and Onana knows it as well. Desperate to get involved, like Vicario. The minds are going a mile a minute.
Porro's back on the ball.
Onana's making the point to Felix White, the referee, about Papsar, and he's like, well, he's not doing anything wrong right now.
Sarr standing right in front of the goalkeeper. Van der Ven is in there too. It's swung in and Onana manages to punch it. Did pretty well to get some length there. It was a bit straight. Porro, defended by Mount this time.
Porro shot there. He went for goal. That was a shot from a corner. They know Onana's a risky business.
The referee has penalised Amad Diallo. The last half dozen games now started, the last 3. Amad Diallo, after 3 months out following an ankle operation. He has been one of the bright spots of Manchester United's season. Maguire's mobility being tested, and he didn't find Shaw, and here's Johnson. It'll come out to be hit first time. It was an opportunity for Papsar. Manchester United embarrassed for pace there. An error by Harry Maguire at the start of all of that.
It's the first big chance of the game, and again it's that ball over the top of Luke Shaw. Nothing too clever about it, but it's effective. His save was effective. Mazraoui misjudged time in his jump in here. Just deal with the ball, the man of his experience, get it off the pitch and defend the throw. Onana stands up, stands big, and waits for his teammates to get involved, but unnecessary pressure on themselves, Manchester United.
Maguire did atone to a degree by blocking the shot from Sarr.
Man low on confidence now. Onana, this is really, really tough for him. Porro strikes these so hard and it will fly across heads, fly across bodies on this angle. It's so hard to know, to gauge where to stand in your goal.
Driven in again, a little lower this time. Manchester United can't clear Richarlison. It's a corner kick. They had an opportunity to get that away.
They're just grateful that they did get it away. It's good pressure from Tottenham. It wasn't a perfect corner. From there, only dropping back onto the line to protect the keeper and forgot about the ball itself.
Pedro Porro to test out Onana and company again. Onana pleading with the referee for a little bit of space in his 6-yard box. And pleading with the men around him to do some defending for him. Porro. Headers by Maguire. Free kick has been given against Brennan Johnson. Diallo caught it in the face. It's not Diallo, I beg your pardon.
Respite.
Lenny Yoro.
Dorgu is back. Looking at a few big moments for Spurs there. They just seem to have found their feet a little bit. They've got to go to with that long ball. If you're in doubt, go for it. He's not playing Son. I don't think he would get anywhere close to the 90 minutes, would he? Maybe have an impact later on in the game.
Romero up above Højlund. Shaw looking for Dorgu. He's looking to get past Porro. Cover comes from Bentancur. Shaw slid in. Referee happy for the game to continue. Mazraoui. Manchester United just looking to settle things if they can, but Tottenham are pressing the ball quite aggressively. But now Yoro can escape, and here's Mazraoui ahead of him. Dorgu. Porro doing the defending.
And the switch is on for Manchester United. Amad Diallo on the top of the screen on the far side. He's the option. It's getting it there to him is the problem.
Maguire seeking out Dorgu again. He's pacey, and he forced the cross and forced the corner of Christian Romero.
It is that switch. It is that direct ball. Their width from the wing-backs is what gives them the option. It's a high task, it's a high challenge for Dorgu to get on the end of it, but anything, once you've got beyond the Tottenham defence, is an opportunity.
It's quite a cool, cloudy evening in northern Spain. Perfect conditions, really, for high-tempo football. Both these two are going at it. Bruno Fernandes. It was a rather hesitant punch. It's come out for Amad Diallo! Nobody got a touch. But again, Vicario, under pressure, was unable to clear his lines.
Yeah, wasn't confident, was it? You just see initially, just the arm across the chest of Vicario from Højlund was enough to put him off. And he just needed that touch, didn't it? It was before that. Just held Vicario up, having to be stretched. And just fire it across goal and see what happens from Amad Diallo. He's not moved, the manager, but he's on his own. Everyone else was up.
It's a big night for Amad Diallo. He's sat out to Europa League finals in the past on the bench without being called upon. 4 years ago, for Manchester United 3 years ago during a loan spell to Glasgow Rangers. But this particular manager has shown real faith in him, and here he goes again. Halted though by Bissouma. Tottenham Hotspur get the throw.
They do a lot of work in there. Bissouma and Bentancur in the centre. They've struck up a real partnership, particularly in Europe. You've been asked a lot of them to do it on their own, but now together they can cover around.
Bissouma with some time. Udogie. Solanke. Udogie sprinting ahead of him, creating some space for Richarlison. And now fired in towards Sarr. Very good defending that by Shaw.
See Spurs' tactic, get the double up on the wings, get two men out there, full back, another, get the cross in, ask the question of Manchester United. The guys highlighted it in the studio before the game, they suffer from that area.
Udogie halted by Mazraoui.
Both teams will be fairly happy with how they've started the game. They both started with intensity. It's been lacking in the league. It's been so evident over recent months for both sides.
Spurs have lost 25 games this season, United 21, so you could understand it. They both were a bit watchful and guarded with so much at stake, but it has been a positive start from both camps.
Yeah, you look at sides that saying, OK, we're going to put it all on the line, because everything has been on the line in this game for months for both sides.
Mount can't reach that, but he did reach Porro. The referee happy that it was an honest challenge. It's brilliant from Amad Diallo. Eluded Udogie, unable to make further progress. Shaw improvising in order to connect with Mount. And here's Patrick Dorgu. Then Yoro. Bruno Fernandes. Amad Diallo. United throw.
Game's just gone down a notch, hasn't it? Manchester United on the ball. They've been slow at times this season in possession, and I just feel that when they do get the ball, the option to come back is a safe one. The wide players are the option that's on, but they need support around them. We saw Amad Diallo here a minute ago not have the options when he gets forward. There again, he's not really got the option for a ball inside.
Casemiro with the switch to Dorgu, beautifully delivered. Dorgu's crosses hung up. Mazraoui arrived, and Udogie did particularly well. This is Amad Diallo, and now Bruno Fernandes. Good handling this time from Vicario.
That's the run. That's the run there. What we're talking about, get the ball out wide is fine, but you need another run. You need another player to create another option. They can't just chuck it in from miles out. Good from Bruno Fernandes.
Maguire reaching over Solanke. Here is the Manchester United captain. He lost the ball there, held his hand up in apology immediately. Mount. Fouled by Johnson, just stretching around Mount and catching him before the ball.
Just explaining. It was as much from this man Bentancur as it was from Brennan Johnson. He could have hit him a few times for pulling the arm, but a bit of control from Manchester United. See at the top of that line of wall of Tottenham place, Harry Maguire loitering right at the very top at the far post.
Shaw seeks out the head of Maguire, it's a little too long. Romero hooks it away. No foul, Manchester United throw. Diallo. Stepped past to Doggy, but he had Basuma covering him. One back by Bruno Fernandes. Casemiro. Fernandes is just going to see so much more of the ball in this conventional midfield role rather than one of the two wide tens, as Manchester United call their flank players. Richarlison. Solanke. It's a rather ambitious challenge by Casemiro.
Romero demonstrating with the referee, he knows what Casemiro knew. Casemiro knew exactly what he was doing, as he saw that the options were on the far side for Solanke, and Casemiro recognised that and said, well, this is going to go no further. It's a tactical foul from him.
An Argentine complaining about a Brazilian, surely not. Great football rivalry of South America. As part of this contest too. Porro, who's from southern Spain originally, and he's played here previous life for the likes of Girona and Valladolid. Basuma. Done well to step away from first Mount and then Dorgu. Dorgu recovered, got the ball. The referee giving both teams the licence to slide in and challenge.
He recognises it's a Premier League game in effect, and it is being played at a Premier League pace, and Basuma did really well there. The option was to give it to Porro. The temptation is just give it to him. He's got such a great cross on him.
Porro will do well to wriggle out of that corner. Dorgu's attempted clearance hit Johnson on the arm. It's slightly ironic that there are only 4 Englishmen on the field. Welsh arm of Brennan Johnson stopping that. He was impeded by his own defender as much as anybody there, Vicario.
Just the presence is enough. He's trying to make the point to say it's hard as a goalkeeper. Once you're set, once you're ready to come for a cross, it gets stopped initially. That's possibly when the referee's not looking.
"25 goalless minutes without a truly glaring chance for either team. Plenty of potential for goals. Forward by Porro. Maguire eyeing Solanke rather nervously. Dealt with it pretty well in the end, Harry Maguire. Bentancur though. Udogie.
But it is the go-to, isn't it, Clive? just to get it over the back line of Manchester United, get them tracking back. Sure, Maguire don't want to be going that way. Used it a number of times. If they're dropping it into Harry Maguire in front of him, then he's going to win it all day long. Anyone in world football knows that.
Richarlison is an outlet in the air too. He is a converted striker. Udogie. Well, that deserved better, really. Dorgu in 2 minds has conceded a pretty cheap corner, but the cross from Destiny Udogie was a beauty.
Just didn't have that overload at the far post like they would have done on the other side to stand it up and just tease Manchester United defence. He wasn't, no, he's got a shout from his goalkeeper, but still wasn't sure.
Pedro Porro back on corner-taking duty. Romero and Van der Ven forward from the back. Towards Bentancur. Richarlison. Kept alive by Basuma. Turned away by Maguire. Basuma again. Casemiro away. Bentancur with the cover. Solanke unable to control. Udogie unable to control, and he impeded Amad Diallo.
It's all about moments, final, seeing through little moments, seeing through moments of pressure. Both teams have done that so far, and he's both thinking, yeah, we're not perfect, we can do more in an attacking sense, but we're seeing through the opponent's moments so far.
Two of the 3 Manchester United centre-backs forward for this free kick. Played short to Amad Diallo. It's a lovely turn. It's Brennan Johnson defending the near post. But there's a real danger when Diallo's on the ball. Romero is down in the penalty area holding his face.
He's got the beating of him, hasn't he? He's got the beating of Udogie, and he knows that. Getting him running towards his own goal, get into the penalty area. You know, defenders just don't want to be there, don't want to be doing that.
Both teams attacking the ends of this stadium behind which their vocal support is gathered. The ticket allocations were just under 15,000 for each club. Tonight's capacity is just over 40,000.
I get the feeling that there's slightly more than 15,000 of each team in here.
Referee seems quite keen to get on with this. Christian Romero, less so.
Well, he doesn't want treatment, because then he'll have to go off, but he doesn't want to really have to carry on either for the moment.
There's a tangle with Rasmus Højlund. Shaw stood up for Mazraoui, who's managed to force it on to Amad Diallo, and now Bruno Fernandes. Charged down by Pape Sarr.
Romero and Højlund just carrying on the conversation in and around the penalty area. Mason Mount getting involved.
Diallo. Well, he couldn't control the cross on his unfavoured right foot this time, but his pace and trickery is a real headache for the left side of the Tottenham defence.
This is it with Richarlison in front of you. You've not particularly got a defence-minded midfielder there at all. You've got a striker who's playing as a left winger, so he's not got much help out there. It may be a case for Bissouma to recognise that from midfield and step out when he can and not leave him so isolated.
Glanced on by Solanke. This is Richarlison, runs into Casemiro. Udogie. Tottenham Hotspur throw. Bissouma. Or was he clipped there by Mazraoui? Referee unconvinced.
Oh, we heard it, but we couldn't see it.
Bissouma is just about getting to his feet. Dorgu unable to control an awkward ball.
It's gone back down again on the far side, and they hurt. They hurt, whether he meant it or not. I'm not so sure, but he's caught him a treat.
Mazraoui trying to look as innocent as he can.
This could be a long 12 minutes for Bissouma, trying to run that off through to half-time before he can get some treatment.
Yeah, that's what's commonly referred to in sport as a dead leg. As a numbness comes across the thigh and it's difficult to get mobile again. Hoyland finding Bruno Fernandes. Bissouma finding the ball. Richarlison. Udogie was being held back there by Amad Diallo, but has escaped. Fouled by Bruno Fernandes in the end. Interesting to see the referee goes to his pocket and produces a card for Amad Diallo, because it was certainly a yellow card offence.
Well, they both could get booked, couldn't they? It's take your pick time. He needs a word in his ear if he doesn't, from his officials, from his teammates here. The referee, he's telling them all to go away. He needs to find his yellow card for Amad, that's for sure. There we go.
First of the final. Shown to the Ivory Coast international, Amad Diallo.
Strong customer, Richarlison. He's just to rile every opponent he comes up against. And it's as fair and clear as you like for that one.
There's a fair bit of edge out there. I need to tell you that when order is restored, it will be Pedro Porro to take the free kick.
He's got a little bit more time than Anna now on this one to judge the flight of it.
Porro on his best. One back momentarily by Bissouma. Diallo has been caught and he's down. Johnson's early cross. Solanke looked like that came off his arm, indeed it did. I've seen a lot of Dominic Solanke so far tonight. He's scored in his last 3 Europa League games, made a real impact at the sharp end of the competition.
He's got a tall order tonight because he's up against 3 centre-halves, and when Manchester United get the press right, And they have to go long and high to him. Harry Maguire is there to win any headers, so the quality of the ball forward and the length of the ball forward is critical for Dominic Solanke.
Tottenham's club record signing, $75 million. He'll chase this one with Maguire. Maguire's head is down to Richarlison, but he stabbed that too far in front of Solanke. Yoro has to deal with it and didn't really. Sarr almost stole it away from him.
He's asking his goalkeeper to come out for that, and I don't think Onana could. You see him desperately pleading, saying, come for it, and he had no idea that Papsar was going to be there. Thought it was just a one-man press.
Strong headed by Romero. Well, there's been an aerial collision in which Bruno Fernandes has been caught.
He's smiling. I'm not sure Bruno Fernandes is. It's been a real battle out there at times.
It's Salah that he was jumping with. Maguire finding Dorgu. Diallo allowed to turn. Mazraoui charged down well by Udogie. The bonus of it falling here to Richarlison. Carried the ball well. Udogie. Well, Mazraoui won the ball, but it was a clumsy-looking challenge. Casemiro. Forward towards Mount, away by Basuma. There was a late challenge there, which has been penalised, and Manchester United have a free kick.
Yeah, good referee. Allowed the play to continue, and Van de Ven with the late tackle on Højlund, and it was good from Højlund. We've seen very, very little of him. A lot of critics this season, and he's been really struggling for form. Fighting players, fighting himself, fighting everybody around him.
Here's Amad Diallo again. Found space to have a shot himself that time. Richarlison closed him down eventually. Maybe on the follow-through, Diallo was caught.
Richarlison isn't happy. Maybe the players aren't happy with Doggy for kicking the ball off. Say, go play. It's not a head injury.
I think it was as much the momentum of Amad Diallo's follow-through which caused the collision. There's an interesting contest on that side because, as you say, Richarlison is playing on the left-hand side of the Tottenham Hotspur attack. It's really a central striker by trade. And so he's probably not used to the defensive responsibilities and duties that we're trying to protect his full-back or his flank in that side.
And not just that, we saw him with the yards he had to try and carry the ball for.
It's good from Maguire. Bruno Fernandes, headed away by Van de Ven. Basuma, just a little wayward. Mazraoui to Bruno Fernandes. This is picked off by Papsar. Really combative in that central area. Sarr looking for options. Richarlison. It's coaxed into Bentancur. Cross is whipped in, and there's a real chance, and Johnson has scored. Breakthrough for Tottenham Hotspur. Brennan Johnson tiptoed into the near post and smuggled it over the line before Manchester United can react. Tottenham Hotspur's leading goal scorer this season. And he's stolen a lead here for his team. He scored in the semi-final against Bodo Glimt in London. And he scored in the final against Manchester United in Bilbao. 18 for the season for Brennan Johnson.
Well, it's not pretty, but it's massive for Tottenham Hotspur to get the ball wide, and before you ask any questions, get the ball in the box. And it's a wonderful cross from Papsar. He's only in the team as an optional, as an extra, as an addition to the side that should have been playing tonight, but he's proved his worth. Takes a dick off Luke Shaw and then off Brennan Johnson. Who it goes down to, I'm not sure, but the quality on the ball asks the question of Manchester United. It's been a tactic from the start for Tottenham. Get the ball wide, get a crossing. Their plans have worked, his plans have worked. They're in the lead.
Well, they conceded the first goal of both the quarter-final and the round of 16 matches against Eintracht Frankfurt and AZ Alkmaar. They were behind to the Dutch side for 100 minutes of football in total before they got a hold of that tie in the first half of the return in London. They trailed Frankfurt for 20 minutes in the first leg and had to win that tie in Germany. But they've got their noses in front tonight, and I think Brennan Johnson just managed to get that final touch to smuggle it over the line and claim the famous goal for himself.
There's a big couple of minutes coming up now, but under belief that will bring Tottenham.
Bruno Fernandes. Richarlison is back there to hook it away. Manchester United are unbeaten in this competition this season in 14 games, but they have been behind in half of those games. They've trailed in 7 of them, but nobody's beaten them. Amad Diallo. Yoro. Casemiro. He's found Bruno Fernandes. And he's found the massive frame of Mickey van der Ven. Smart move, though, from Manchester United. And they've got it back here with Mazraoui. Bruno Fernandes. Højlund is there, but couldn't adjust.
Bruno Fernandes drifting, leaving that centre of midfield position, and to really good effect again. Extra man run, that third man run.
Well, games involving these two this season have been averaging more than 3 goals a game. So it would have been strange if we'd gone very long without a breakthrough. It was a scruffy old goal when it came, but boy, is it important. It means so much to Tottenham Hotspur. Two added minutes.
And it's just the willingness to put the ball in. You look at number 22, Brennan Johnson. Luke Shaw doesn't really know that he's there. There's no communication from Dogu. You can see Luke Shaw immediately look around at him and say, tell me, let me know. I don't know he's there. And just to get the bodies in the box and across the goal.
In his birthday week, turns 24 on Friday. He scored against Roma this season. He scored against Manchester City this season. He scored against Manchester United back in September. And he scored against them again. Bruno Fernandes. Headed away by Romero. Amad Diallo. Luke Shaw. Maguire had vacated that space. Here's Amad Diallo again. Goalkeeper has come and gathered under no pressure this time.
Cheered like a goal. Clear thinking, clear goalkeeping, Vicario. Just allowed allows the pressure valve to be released a little bit.
Well, there are going to be very different emotions during the half-time interval. If the scoreline remains as it is. Richarlison holding off Mazraoui, beating him. It was a speculative cross to nobody in particular. But you certainly couldn't say that of the Pape Sarr cross which set up the goal. Guided in from an angle, awkward to defend. And Brennan Johnson smelt out the opportunity to steer it somehow beyond Shaw and the goalkeeper and give Tottenham Hotspur the lead at halfway in the Europa League final. It's Tottenham Hotspur 1, Manchester United 0.
No, great presentation, Tim. Could you email me the part about Geico, making it easy to switch and save hundreds?
Oh, yeah, sure.
You don't know my name, do you?
Of course I know your name. I just get you mixed up with the other guy. What's his name? What's your name?
Switch and save. Get more with Geico.
Could you just tell me I want this to be over?
If you thought Subway subs were legendary, just wait until you try our new Doritos Footlong Nachos. Doritos Nacho Cheese Chips smothered with melty cheese piled high with all your favorite delicious toppings, all for just $5. Doritos and Subway. Two legends come together to create...
Two legends? Don't you mean three?
Nope. Subway and Doritos. Two legends, just two.
No. Hey, who I need to talk to?
Try the legendary pairing of new Doritos Footlong Nachos today for just $5, only at Subway.
But these is legendary, though.
Huh. They look different online.
Jeez. Wow, that's a lot of rolls. When you prefer a dream vacation over a rental nightmare.
Gesundheit. Let's get you checked in.
It matters where you stay. Hilton for the stay.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Skirted right through there, now chasing down. This can be in great shape.
Yeah, you can be a
17 through.
able to go home in 2 from there.
I heard you found someone special. Yeah. Is that dog food in the fridge?
It's not dog food. It's Fresh Pet. Real meat, real veggies for Peter.
That's Peter? Should have known.
You do make a pretty cute couple.
Is this a bad idea?
It's a bad idea, right?
This is perfect.
Are you sure you're ready to buy a house, Mika?
We just want the best for you, honey.
I don't know anyone that owns a house. Are you sure? I got this.
Welcome back. You're watching the Europa League final. Spurs leading a goal to nil at the break. Now, Roy, people worried it would be a cagey affair given how much is on the line. Champions League qualification, much needed financial stimulus for both clubs. But Spurs got the goal. What are your thoughts on the
huge moment? Well, real lack of quality. They've almost brought their league form to the table, but there's been tension, obviously. Yeah. And the Spurs have managed to get their nose in front. Big moment, obviously. We're giving Johnson a go, but I think it might come off Shaw. We mentioned before the game about getting bodies in there. United having bodies back, but not obviously doing a defensive job. And we look at it closely. I still think, and we saw crosses in swingers earlier. I think Maguire's got to focus on clearing the ball. Johnson does a brilliant run. Obviously, he's nice and aggressive, but United enough bodies back, but not doing enough. And I think again, question marks over the keeper. Looks like an OG to me.
Yeah, Mike, I was going to come to you as a defender. Do you feel there could have been better in that?
Yeah, I think Maguire should just come across. I think Onana needs to do better there. But it's exactly what we said before the game in terms of them runs. You see the runs that took Fernandes away and then allowed that channel of space and then was always going to get hurt. They said they don't engage and stop crosses. Exactly what happened.
There have been key fights or battles all over the pitch. You highlighted some of those at the start. Well, you're going to talk through some of the highlights.
Yeah, there's obviously been moments, but maybe not enough. Again, the teams are probably, like I mentioned earlier, brought their league form to the table, and these are maybe some of the half chances. Again, defensively here, poor. Maguire, Shaw, but good pressure from Spurs. Johnson, obviously, doing what he does well. And again, start running onto it like all good midfielders, good defending. But these are just little moments. But again, poor from United, Jamie. What do you think?
Yeah, it has. I mean, as I said, we're talking about the team that was 16th and 17th in the Premier League. I mean, I've actually quite enjoyed the game, I must say that, even though there has been that lack of quality. But this was one early on. Ahmad as well did really well. Looked really dangerous in the first sort of 10 or 15 minutes. Looked like he really had a doggy on that far side, on toast, actually. Really good skill, and he just flashes it across, maybe hoping for a little touch in at the back post, or maybe to find that far post himself.
Really good battle, isn't it, between him and O'Doggett?
Yeah.
I'm really liking it.
Yeah, well, listen, there's a lot of battles going on the pitch. That's probably certainly the best one right now.
We're, of course, Manchester United a goal down. What would you like to see them do differently in this second 45?
Probably more of a goal threat. I think Bruno's been fairly quiet. Ahmed definitely looks like he's in good form. He's on a yellow card. He's got to be careful. And even at this stage of the game, I start looking at maybe the options off the bench. Garnacho, possibly. But also, don't panic. They're one alone. They've been behind in games previously, obviously, in Europe. You got to trust yourself that you can get back in the game, but they need to show a bit more quality.
When you go 1-0 down in a big game like this, what are you thinking?
Well, you got to stay calm. Don't panic, certainly not. But again, it's the real lack of quality in the final. Third Highland's not done too much.
It's felt like that, isn't it? It started really well, like there was up for it, and then it sort of just fizzled out a little bit of nerves.
But you just see if Spurs can keep their energy levels up, because they are pressing and closing well. Can they keep that up? And this is where the importance of players off the bench for both teams.
And also hold your nerve as well. If you're Tottenham, everybody wants to go 1-0 up, of course they do. But that thing, as the longer this game goes on, you start thinking about winning it. That's when you start sort of nerves start kicking in as well. The anxiety from the supporters as well onto the pitch as well. So that'd be really interesting. I think, as Roy's just said, and he knows that better than anyone, getting late goals in big games. Just take your chance, a long way to go.
There's a long way to go. Well, Roy, Jamie, Micah, thank you so much. We're going to take a quick break, but after this, we'll bring you the second half from Bilbao. Tottenham leading 1-0 at the break. Ruben Amorim needs to turn things around if he wants to salvage his season. We'll see you in a moment.
Brandon Coley, Jablonski Auto Body, LLC.
What'd she call Harper? Oh, we actually sold the Twins naming rights.
You know, like stadiums do. Very lucrative.
Oasis Breeze Tan and Spa.
The right money moves aren't as absurd as you think.
Presumably, once Maldini gets his first, many more will flow for him. Norton Cuffy, Aaron Martin, Pinamonti, right on cue.
Asia, your car's small. It's fine. When you became MVP once, was that fine? No, you did it twice.
But you're fine with this tiny car when you could just sell it to CarMax?
I can't feel my legs.
Wherever they take you. With over 30 hotel brands, Marriott Bonvoy has a brand for every kind of fan.
It's super hot. Super hot. 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 None of bands while the rest y'all. Take a chance that I bet y'all won't. I got a plan and it involve money. It's super hot.
The skin around your eyes is 10 times thinner than the face. That's why signs of aging appear faster. Now with RoC's Retinol Eye Cream, you can reduce eye age by 10 years. We invited real women to experience the RoC difference. First, we scanned their eyes. 8 weeks later, we scanned again. 90% had reduced dark circles and puffiness, and lines were reduced by 50%. RoC, clinically proven to reduce eye age by 10 years.
It's a big match, and only the best will win.
Just blaze, Godzilla bankroll, stole some chili on. Yo, I ain't got it all. That means I'm barely home.
Right, well, get your calendars ready. High stakes in Bilbao tonight, and CBS Sports has more massive games coming up over the next 10 days. First up, we're in Italy on Friday. The Serie A title is on the line. Who will clinch the Scudetto? Napoli or Inter Milan? You want to say that one for me?
Internazionale.
Or will they need a playoff? Next up, we're at Wembley on Saturday. It's the richest game in football. Sheffield United play Sunderland in the EFL Championship playoff final. The prize? The promotion to the Premier League.
The money, it's the money.
Oh, yes, the top dog in England. So then in Poland, we go to, on Wednesday, we go to Poland. It's the UEFA Conference League final. Chelsea against Real Betis.
Big game.
Do you want to pronounce Real Betis?
Real Betis.
Oh, there we go, very Spanish there. And then in Munich next Saturday, on May 31st, it's the biggest game in club football, the Champions League final, PSG versus Inter Milan. Who's winning?
I'm going to go for PSG, but I'm more interested in who Beckham's friends are going to be.
Oh, can you give us any clues?
I've heard nothing.
OK, well, watch this space. It could be a big one. And for football fans, of course, this is the best time of the year. Even better news, you can stream every game live on Paramount+. Second half coming up after this.
The Kia K4 and K5 represent what comes next. The next movement for innovation. And the next movement for acceleration. The Kia K4 and K5.
Kia, movement that inspires.
There it is. You just dug through the entire music library of every song ever recorded and somehow found the perfect neo-psychedelic synth-pop country fusion your ears were craving. If you can find any song in the world in seconds, you should be able to sign up for insurance in seconds. It's about time insurance does that. Lemonade, changing insurance, starting with everything.
Well, you're in the big leagues now.
How was your vacation, sir? Oh, I needed one.
With your 10% loyalty program discount, that's $225 for the night.
Not bad.
$155 for the night.
Hold up. How?
It's easy when you know where to look.
Trivago compares hotel prices from hundreds of sites, so you can save up to 40%.
Trivago is my secret tactic.
Hotel Trivago.
Make the space you're living in finally feel like home. Bring more warmth and personality to your entire home. Put everything in its right place. And give each room the finishing touch that makes it yours. Save on select home decor at Hobby Lobby. Home is what you make it.
The second half is approaching. The teams will be coming out for the next 45 minutes in just a moment. But let's get pitchside reaction from Peter Schmeichel and Guillaume Balaguer. Guillaume?
Nobody was bossing the game, Anita. There was no chances. Played 200 miles an hour and one accident pushed Spurs ahead. What now?
Yeah, well, it's 1-0 Spurs. Now, for Man United, they need to come a little bit more further forward. They need to take more chances. Maybe have a couple of shots from distance, open up a very defensive Spurs, because they're going to defend now, like they did in Frankfurt.
In fact, what has happened so far is that they've both been defending, but now the game should open up, and we're looking forward to that.
Micah, very quickly, how do you see the second half panning out?
Very cagey again. I think they've got to be patient, Man United, but I think this man on your screen now, Fernandes, has definitely got something to say in this fixture.
I mean, the worry for Manchester United is 15 times this season they haven't scored a goal in the game. You cannot believe that stat. They've got to make sure that doesn't turn to 16 in the next 45 minutes. You know,
Spurs have got to be smart. After they scored a goal, they give away a couple of daft free kicks. They'll use that football intelligence and be smart. They've got a great chance.
This is a big 45 for Man United, Roy.
And huge for Spurs. The pressure's all on United. No, I said that before the game. The pressure was on Man United. No, we were all thinking what Spurs will turn up, but so far they've done it. But again, fitness levels, players off the bench. We look at Shaw there. Could he last the 90 minutes? Keep getting at these players. But again, obviously, influence players off the bench would be huge, I think.
Yeah, we saw a comeback from Manchester United in the quarter-finals against Lyon. Can they do it again? Because second-half kick-off of the Europa League final is set. Let's get back to Bilbao and your commentators for Tottenham against Manchester United, Clive Tildesley and Rob Green.
Thank you, Anita. The recent form doesn't count for much tonight. Neither team have got any to speak of. The last 3 wins that each has enjoyed have come in the Europa League. In the last 8 in the semi-finals. In the English Premier League, both have won just once since February. So winning habits are not ingrained. They're actually 25 points and more behind the other teams fighting over the remaining Champions League places next.
What's up, SO peeps? We interrupt this broadcast of the Europa League final to let you know that the Toronto Sports Insider plaque has arrived. Ladies and gentlemen, here it is. Watch out. Be on the lookout tonight. Hopefully, maybe not tonight. It might be a couple days. But we got to wait for the kids to get home, and we're going to record our unboxing video. No, let's get back to the soccer. Let's go, Manchester United. Come on. Come on, Darcy. The plaque is here, buddy. We did it, True. Thank you, Insiders. Carmen, Connor, Stefan, those of you who are here in the chat. Thank you. Now, let's get back to the soccer. We did it.
The bright spark for Manchester United, they're 3-4-3. When they did get it wide in numbers, showed that they could threaten Tottenham.
Hoyland has found Mount. Dorgu getting forward ahead of him, but Mason Mount never quite had the ball under control.
Manchester United have been accused of, particularly in the Premier League, obviously not responding when they've gone behind. They need to find something now. Roy King in the studio was talking about playing smart. Need a spark as well. They need something. Mount, Bruno Fernandes, they need something to come alive here.
Hoyland, turned away by Romero. Here's Solanke. Told to get to his feet. Well, they trailed for 20 minutes in the first leg of the quarter-final in Lyon, then an agonising 10 minutes of extra time at Old Trafford in the return. They were 2 down for 4 of those minutes before scoring 3 times in 7 minutes to claim their place in the semi. They were behind against Real Sociedad for 6 minutes of the second leg in the round of 16 at Old Trafford too. So they have found some resilience in this competition. Mazraoui, Amad Diallo.
Tottenham haven't left the half yet. Happy to sit in. Solanke just to the left of the referee is the centre forward. He's the highest up the pitch for Spurs. Looking at the side that will happily sit in and dig it out at times in the Europa League.
Bruno Fernandes. Youssef Mazraoui. Here's Amad Diallo and a header from Hoyland. It was difficult to adjust. It was just behind him. I'm sure you could call it a clear chance.
Possible for him, wasn't it? Diallo again getting in the penalty area. He's got the time to pick the spot, to pick the cross, and he's asking so much of him from behind him, and nigh on impossible task for Rasmus Højlund. You're in that area, you need it to be better. These are the key moments in a final. They look like not a lot right now, but they add up.
50 appearances before tonight, 10 goals. For Rasmus Højlund this season, just 3 since mid-December, but 6 of those 10 goals have come in this competition. Not quite sure what day it is right now. Bundled to the ground. We're going to see the second yellow card of the night. This time for Mickey van der Ven.
Too much there, shoulder in the back of the head, and him and Romero have been taking it turns on Rasmus Højlund. No. Minute he's an easy target. Well, have to track carefully.
I've seen a lot of these kinds of set piece tonight from both teams. Bruno Fernandes will want to try to tempt Vicario. Came off the head of Basuma. It's turned away by Bentancur. Romero was down inside the penalty area. The flag gone up. Romero now just discussing events with Harry Maguire.
Oh, it's kicking off everywhere, all over the pitch. People are having scraps, people are hugging each other, falling over, and head-to-heads, and individual battles, team battles. It doesn't make it a pretty game, but it's an intense one.
It wasn't a romantic embrace, was it? Sarr. Nudged away by Casemiro. Porro forward. Shaw away. The official UEFA platform has awarded the only goal of the night to Brennan Johnson so far. I'm not sure that Luke Shaw didn't get the final touch. Shaw and Johnson coming together again there. Onana with time to clear. Hoyland helping it on, but sorted out by Udogie and Van de Ven.
They need more from him there. Need more from Hoyland with that header. They need him to retain possession.
Bentancur got the ball. And it's a rugged encounter. Lots of collisions.
You'd say if it's 16th versus 17th in the Premier League, it's a relegation scrap. He's certainly got that feel at times.
Johnson. Bissouma. Porro. Sarr. You know, Spurs' first choice back four played together throughout both semi-finals and for most of both quarter-finals. On duty again tonight. They are the only times they've really played together since October. And they took the field together for one game in December, but Christian Romero lasted 15 minutes. So both Romero and Mickey Van de Ven set out much of the period between November and February. Destiny Udogie missed a couple of months too. And since their recoveries, they've just been wrapped in cotton wool. Haven't been risked in other games. All for this.
It's very much for Tottenham been a case of an A team for the Europa League and the B team pretty much since the turn of the year, and the performances have reflected that really. It's very difficult as a professional to come in and knowing that you're not fancied, you don't want to be involved in here's a game that isn't important. Being asked to go out and perform, well, their season's reflected that.
Just 2 or 3 games each for the members of the Tottenham back four in the last 4 weeks, despite the fact they have been finally fit to play. Now, they should be well rested, but whether that will enable them to be match sharp for the duration remains to be seen. Another free kick. It's that kind of match, that kind of night. Richarlison winning this one.
All of this suits Spurs, and you're looking now, you're 8 minutes into the second half. They've seen through that period of time, and they're in no rush. They know the drill, they know the score here.
Van de Ven. On by Richarlison. Offside against Sarr.
On the list for stoppages in play now for this second half, and they won't throw too many bodies forward. Perhaps Sarr getting forward then, but Spurs are very much resolved in sitting in with Bissouma and that man Bentancur in front of the back four. They're not going to shift too far.
It's an interesting point that Roy Keane made at half-time, that of the starting 11 that Spurs have out there, 6 of them have never won a major medal. It's not just Tottenham that haven't been winning in recent years. There's players in this team, many of them new to Tottenham Hotspur, but new to this level of competition. Van Ven, one of them. Mazraoui. Contrast, you look in the Manchester United team and they've got half a dozen who played in Champions League finals, who played in a European Championship final for England, major finals of one kind or another. They have won 2 cup finals in the last 2 years, let's not forget, in England, Manchester United.
That's a contrast, interesting contrast, isn't it? But what Spurs do have now is a belief in a system, and it's one that has stepped away from what the manager believes in terms of digging in and fighting, but they know how to do it, and they've had relative success to get here with it against arguably in Eintracht Frankfurt stronger opposition.
Dorgu. Fired towards Mazraoui, but cut out by Udogie. One back by Amad Diallo, who then slips. Richarlison looking for a free kick. He's got one, but it's going the other way for handball. Oh, and stopping the taking of the free kick. Well, no card.
Just about got away with that, but the game was stopping. Richarlison was making sure, but he's ploughing a lone furrow up there. Solanke's dropped back into the midfield line. That bank of 4 with Pat Sarr and Richarlison and Brennan Johnson, they're just digging in.
Both coaches have very clear and distinctive tactical approaches. Some would say almost stubborn to a fault. And one of Ruben Amorim's non-negotiables has been the shape of his team, the tactical setup. He just wonder whether he's prepared to go to a plan B in these circumstances. Bruno Fernandes was fouled by Bissouma.
Well, it's not started this second half how they wanted it to. There's no pressure being applied. They've got possessional in terms of the sense of the ball, and they're in the Tottenham half at times, but they're not creating anything.
Richarlison's yellow card has been waiting to happen. So we might see Son Heung-min down that flank before too long.
There's 5 Manchester United players. Oh, we're not down below us here, Clive. One of them is Garnacho. Thinking there's going to be some point he's going to have to be brought in. He's going to have to bring a spark of life, of something from Manchester United to bring him back into this game.
And here comes another free kick opportunity. Yoro and Maguire are in the posse. Bruno Fernandes in towards Lenny Yoro. Goalkeeper had it briefly and spilled it. Chucked away by Dominic Solanke.
It's a clever free kick, that was planned. Fired in. It's such a difficult ball for Vicario to deal with. Just got distracted by the boots of Yoro. I don't know whether to attack it or to smother. Oh, he gets there first, doesn't he?
Test of Vicario's courage as much as anything. Don't see too many pretty goalkeepers, do you?
Thanks.
Not good ones, anyway. Yoro. Mazraoui. Amad Diallo. Casemiro. Dorgu. Shaw overlapping, familiar territory for him. Mount, good change of direction, good control. Just about kept his balance to keep the ball in, but Tottenham have the throw.
Yeah, a little interesting little change there. Luke Shaw going forwards for few times really in the half, in this second half, but trying to get the overload, but it's read by Tottenham, and you end up with Mount on there trying to up against 4 Tottenham players. It's such a hard task just to try and create something.
Amad Diallo once more. There's contact with Richarlison. Bruno Fernandes. Lenny Yoro. Harry Maguire. Shaw with the cross, charged down by Johnson. Steered away by Solanke.
It tells the picture, doesn't it? Solanke's clearing it to no one.
Dorgu. Mount. Hoyland, he's just caught on his heels a little bit, didn't anticipate the pass.
Just feeling that Tottenham have gone a little bit early in terms of defensive shape, in terms of sitting back, and yes, you can rely on that for so long, but it's a big ask to do 45 minutes of football, to rely on no one to make a mistake, to rely on everybody to get it right perfectly throughout the half with such high stakes.
15 of them out of the way. Dorgu. Mount did well to use his body and shield it there from Bentancur. And outblowed by Basuma. Johnson taken late by Shaw, but referee, again, not convinced there was too much contact. Loose from Bruno Fernandes. Johnson exchanging passes with Pap Sarr. Sliding challenge by Dorgu. Goal kick has been given. Not sure that Johnson was really going anywhere there, because there was very little support in the middle.
Well, it was a rash challenge and was a foul. I don't know how that's not been given, and it was intended by Johnson.
And meanwhile, here's Dorgu at the other end of the field, and that's deflected to Amad Diallo. That's really good defending by Destiny Udogie. Didn't buy the little check back. And maybe a chance of a break, and here's Udogie. He's got Solanke with him, and this is Dominic Solanke. Legs almost gave way. I think there's an element of fatigue in that, just couldn't control it. Pass looked a good one to me from Udogie.
I think it caught him by surprise, Clive. He just couldn't get it out of his feet, couldn't get his feet sorted out. And he's brilliant from Udogie. He can do this, he can drive up the pitch and create something. He's looking at him now, Udogie's looking at Solanke to say, what more do you want? I can't do any more for you than put it on a plate. Should be 2.
And that's the danger for Ruben Amorim's team. The counter. He changed the fortunes of his last club-mate, Sporting Club of Lisbon, champions again. Did it his way, his tactics, his system, his line in the sand. And when they're your methods, they've got to work, because there's only one person going to pay if they don't. Bruno Fernandes. Casemiro. Patrick Dorgu. Again, Shaw is overlapping.
Pretty much a flat back 4 now for Manchester United, with Yoro and Maguire as the 2 centre-backs, and Azari and Shaw the wing-backs, the full-back, sorry.
Yoro going it alone. Maguire. Amad Diallo. Charles has done very well there on behalf of Udogie. Every time a Manchester United attack is repelled, the Tottenham fans behind Vicario's goal celebrate the moment.
Put a shift in Richarlison has his critics and his doubters, but he certainly put one in for the team tonight.
It's the 11th start of the season torn apart by injuries. Tottenham Hotspur throw.
I can't see how Ruben Amorim can keep it going like this for much longer.
Well, Richarlison has given his all and is now looking for a little break.
There is a message being sent to the bench. I've had enough, I've done my bit. That was it.
Postecoglou could not have made a better start to life at Tottenham Hotspur. He was the proverbial breath of fresh air. His results, his playing style, his playful interviews. There's a monthly award for the top manager in English football, and Ange won the first 3 of his first season. The question was always whether they could maintain the high energy, the high intensity Ange ball game without players getting tired and injured, and fatigue and casualties have played a big part in their slump this season. So Richarlison has had a broken season. But what they do have is their club captain, Son Heung-min, who has recently come back from a month out with a foot injury of his own. Played 75 minutes at Villa Park against Aston Villa on Friday. And here he is, 450-plus appearances, coming up 10 years at Tottenham Hotspur, and coming on now as the substitute for Richarlison.
Put a real shift in. Richarlison gets the hug from the manager, and I think that's really professional play as well from him to say, yep, I'm done, I've had enough, and as experience goes, can't ask for a lot more than this man to come on for you.
Scored 5 times against Manchester United for Tottenham down the years, Son Heung-min.
Straight swap as well, which helps no end in terms of positional and structure for for Tottenham Hotspur, just to sit in as they want to.
He's another playing in his 4th major final and still to pick up a winner's medal. Well won by Dorgu. Amad Diallo caught by Son Heung-min. Yellow card for Bissouma for delaying the restart. 3rd yellow card for Tottenham Hotspur. One of them to Richarlison, who has obviously now gone off. Held by Son originally.
As soon as he got the ball there, surrounded by Tottenham shirts, and an isolated figure in the middle of the park all of a sudden. Ideas from Manchester United have dried up in this second half. Halfway through.
Bruno Fernandes, and that's easy, or it should have been. It's Højlund, it's turned off the line by Van der Ven. Still an opportunity, hit by Euro. Van der Ven, having made the clearances, laid out in the back of the goal. Vicario couldn't gather it, impeded by his own player, and Rasmus Højlund came within a whisker of equalising. What a moment.
That's brilliant from Van der Ven. Wonderful reactions. There's no need for Dominic Solanke to get involved. He hears the shout, but just the athleticism, the awareness of Van der Ven to get up and get round, and just to be aware of where the line is and be in mid-air at the same time, and by any means possible just keep that ball out is incredible.
And there's been a lot of criticism of Rasmus Højlund in front of goal, but he did nothing wrong there.
Just get the shot away, realise the opportunity has been presented to you. Keep your centre forwards out of your goal. Keep them away from your goalkeeper. They cause trouble to you.
Amazing Van der Ven. His 11th game since the end of October. He is 6'4" of delicate engineering. extremely quick, but a bit too quick for his own hamstrings this season. But his athleticism and agility for such a huge, colossal man was so apparent there. Sarr has caught Maguire in the face. He won't flinch. Manchester United have two substitutes ready to come on. Joshua Zirkzee and Alejandro Garnacho. Mazraoui. I almost wondered out loud whether Ruben Amorim might be tempted to change his system, but I think I've answered the question in my own head already.
Wondering how much of the panic button he is pressing now. Just having seen that chance go awry.
Still only 1-0. Toro. Yoro. Headed forward by a doggy. Son was a bit smarter and quicker than Amad Diallo. Yoro did well. Free kick Manchester United. Here come the changes. Joshua Zirkzee is a surprise participant in this final. He hasn't played for over 5 weeks after picking up a hamstring injury of his own. He comes on for Højlund. There's a straight swap up front, and it's Mason Mount who makes way for Alejandro Garnacho. He's actually born in Spain. His youth career was here in Spain, but he's the Argentine international, a product of a very proud Argentine mum.
Oh, the Amorim shape stays, and two like-for-like swaps that happened for Mason Mount or Rasmus Højlund tonight. That chance was the last for Rasmus Højlund, and Zirkzee hasn't played a lot of football in recent weeks. And he doubted he'd play anything at all tonight.
He did score in both the round of 16 and the quarter-final, Joshua Zirkzee. But he's the lone front man, taking over from Højlund. The only time it changes is when Harry Maguire goes up front. Mazraoui heads from Bruno Fernandes. And it's just wide. It's well worked, and Bruno Fernandes tiptoed into a scoring position.
You can see his run. He recognises that centre-halves have bought in to buy into Zirkzee, but he's beyond the near post, and all of a sudden the angles change, the difficulty changes, and you see there he's got to be glanced, and he's almost met the ball full on. It looked like a tired header.
Not quite time for Maguire to go up front yet. It was on this ground that he did his impression of Ryan Giggs in the build-up to the first Manchester United goal in the semi-final. Turn on that far flank and a flighted cross, which led to the turning point, really, in that match. Here is Maguire sweeping it out to Dorgu.
I think he was reenacting it yesterday in the training session they're allowed on the pitch today before the game.
He'd do himself a mischief if he's trying it again. Well, that's a well-guarded ball to Garnacho. He's found some pace. It flicks off Porro and conveniently loops into the grateful hands of Vicario.
It's a different proposition. Garnacho, willingness to run with the ball and dribble and drive, more so than Mason Mount, who might look for passes, but he's capable of the spectacular. We've seen that on a number of occasions.
Zirkzee. Romero crashed into the back of Zirkzee just to let him know he's around. Advantage played. Garnacho. Oh, Vicario did enough. I think it was on target from Alejandro Garnacho.
First big, real save from Vicario. This is where he loves to be, Garnacho. That little skip, that little bounce made it awkward for Vicario. You can see that it's not quite come off his hand, it's come off his wrist. Never quite sure where it's going to bounce and how far away it's going to be.
Picked up a bit of pace as it bounced, didn't it? Good spell for Manchester United. Bruno Fernandes. Towards Maguire, turned away by Romero. Bruno Fernandes has got Amad Diallo in here. And he can't quite wriggle away from the man whose goal separates the two teams, Brennan Johnson.
Son was sleeping there, second man to the right of Yves Bissouma here. Just see him allowing Amad Diallo to drift.
Bruno Fernandes. Behind Maguire, it's come for Luke Shaw. Charged down by Papsar. Youssef Mazraoui. And the space here for Bruno Fernandes. Casemiro. Challenged though by Udogie. Son can counter. He's got Porro and Udogie with him. Xerxes did very well. Or I should say, Dorgu did very well to get back and make the challenge.
It's not to speed yet, Son on the ball and off the ball. It's been a liability for them so far, losing his men.
Garnacho, Shaw overlapping again. Goal kick given. Porro might just have held his breath for a moment, having committed himself to the sliding challenge, but I don't think Shaw really had it under control anyway.
No, he was outside the box, but Porro made sure of that. To do the challenge outside the box, never got a touch on the ball. Sure, I think that was the main factor, but in the balance, wasn't it?
Well, the one that might have been given as a free kick. 15 more minutes or so to go. To understand what victory would mean to Spurs, you've got to understand their geography, sharing a city with Chelsea, sharing the same part of the city with Arsenal, watching those clubs challenge for trophies, win trophies, listening to their fans at work, at school, in the pub. Spurs fans want everyone to listen to them for a change.
You've got West Ham off the list of London clubs that have won European trophies as well.
West Ham United 2 years ago in the Conference League. Amad Diallo. Gets it back from Lenny Yoro. Bruno Fernandes trying to feed it into Xerxes. Sarr was having none of that. Shaw. Casemiro. Unable to link with Dorgu. Time running out for Manchester United. This is a central defender, Kevin Danso, 6'3" Austrian international, and it's Brennan Johnson who is going off on the far side. Sure, he actually got a touch there as he head back, but I'm sure Luke Shaw wouldn't want the goal credited to him. So, officially, it's Johnson who's the match winner as things stand.
Fairly certain he insisted he did, but it's a change of formation now for Tottenham. The centre-back coming in, they've gone to what is a flat-back five now, really, with four in front of them. And Tom Solanke, just a sole striker, just in that shape there. The cast is set. They're here to dig in for the next 12 minutes plus injury time to see them through to the end of this game.
Yoro. Danso came on to do just this job in the frantic final minutes in Frankfurt in the quarter-final. Casemiro got to chance his arm really with that kind of cross. It's played to Tottenham's strength right now.
Oh, there's no guile in it, there's no creativity, is it? They're huffing and puffing and trying to knock the door down rather than find the key.
Might be Maguire time soon. Yoro. Amad Diallo. Casemiro. Trying to hit that in with some finesse, but it was inaccurate from the Brazilian. Mazraoui. Tackled by Bissouma.
Bruno Fernandes there, number 8.
Amad Diallo. Headed away by Van der Ven. And then by Solanke.
Getting him to drop out a bit, maybe even swap with Casemiro to dictate play, as he has done in this position before. He's drifting high, he wants to get near closer to the goal, I understand it, but he's just so tightly packed around there. And Tottenham, of course, they know that.
And here's Amad Diallo. And now Mazraoui. Headed away by Bentancur and then by Van der Ven. Yoro. Again, it was a rather speculative cross. Garnacho. Bruno Fernandes. Thought about it. Instead, it's Garnacho. And then smashed away by Bissouma.
It's tired bodies now, tired minds out there, particularly in the white shirts, defending all this time, all this second half.
Maguire. Bruno Fernandes. Alejandro Garnacho. Showed too much of it there to Pedro Porro. It's up towards Solanke. He's not going to get any support. He's going to have to do it by himself, and he might just do that. And Son has got with him now. Solanke in towards Son. Mazraoui across. And Yoro strides forward once more. He's caught the eye on the ball tonight, Lenny Yoro.
Brilliant from Solanke, and the only 2 shirts in the white shirts in the Tottenham, in the Manchester United half.
Bruno Fernandes. It's over the head of Zirkzee. 2 of Tottenham Hotspur's 4 previous European finals were played over 2 legs, including their last success in 1984. It's not the same experience as this, the intense, often cruel drama of a one-off game. They lost a pretty tight Champions League final to Liverpool 6 years ago. Their one success in a one-off final was way back in the swinging 60s. Diogo Dalot is coming on for Manchester United. Maguire. That won't reach Amad Diallo. Away by Son. Would have been a Manchester United throw-in, but Yoro wasn't quite so sure. Garnacho. Short.
They're looking up to cross, Clive, and there's only one in the box for Manchester United. Zirkzee's the only one there when the ball went wide to look to cross. Now they're getting bodies in.
Amad Diallo held up again by Destiny Udogie. Gets it back from Bissouma. Sarr is making a break down the far side. Bentancur's got involved in this one too. It's a foul by Zirkzee and a yellow card. More time in the Manchester United half for Tottenham Hotspur.
Precious time as well. Will be in no rush, as they might have been for most of this half, just to slow things down and to eke this out. It's poor desperate from Zirkzee, really. try and get the ball back and get it back upfield, but there's been so little from Manchester United as an attacking threat in this second half.
Diogo Dalot, who hasn't played for over a month, replaces Olympique Nusser Mazraoui. We're throwing a number of £100 million, $130 million at the value of Champions League qualification. It's a ballpark figure. It won't be any less than that, and it will be well over twice the income stream for playing in this competition. And it's money that's needed for player recruitment. It's a law that's needed for player recruitment. It's where the big boys play. Gives you a different budget, a different profile. Tottenham Hotspur trying to force that escape clause. Son Heung-min, Sarr arriving late. Couldn't quite reach it. Last 5. Manchester United could tell you they've been in worse messes than this during this Europa League run. Certainly one against Lyon in the quarter-final.
Well, it is Maguire time. He's now centre forward. That's it. This is the panic button from Ruben Amorim.
Bruno Fernandes looks for Harry Maguire. Finds the head of Casemiro, but he can't direct it. There's the offside flag up anyway. I'm afraid I'm so old that the first great English football team that I can remember is the Tottenham Hotspur team of the 1960s. They've never quite been as good again since. They've had the players, Kane and Bale and Hoddle and Lineker and Gascoigne, Ardiles, have all been Spurs players. And I don't think Ange Postecoglou or any Spurs fan would argue that they're as good as that again now, but what they want to be most of all is winners.
It will change the narrative on Tottenham as much as anything, the culture that they've talked about, to create something new, so rather than going back to those names.
But here's Zirkzee. Made a bit of space for himself with a fabulous block, this time by Ibasuma. Dalot, Amad Diallo, Lenny Yoro, Luke Shaw, Patrick Dorgu, Shaw. Maguire seemed to be hauled down there by Van de Ven, but nothing doing. Very tetchy in there, Romero and Maguire exchanging pleasantries again.
Well, this has been going on for 87 minutes, and it's not just Romero and Maguire, it's anybody in a red shirt against anybody in a white shirt. Van de Ven's having his shirt pulled, and Maguire's pulling. Van de Ven's pulling. Romero's in his face. It's
boys and boys.
Yep.
And Maguire taking some retribution there and catching Romero, and he knew what he was doing there. Now Manchester United centre forward, and that's a yellow card for Harry Maguire. You know, Tottenham Hotspur have their very own adjective. They don't want it. They've been baptised and christened by their rivals and critics, but in English football, when any team falls just short in a game in a season, maybe looks like winning but doesn't quite, they are said to be Spursy. It's not a compliment, it's quite the opposite, and it's a label that Spurs themselves are desperate to tear off forever. Well, they haven't been very Spursy in the second half tonight, and if they can see it through, the last 5 minutes, we won't be hearing that little word for a while again.
Romero, as much as he is playing for time here, he needs to sort himself out because he's in danger of being subbed off, which I'm sure he doesn't want.
It's quite a strong rumour that he's Atletico Madrid bound in the summer. Champions League football might make a difference to that equation. Jed Spence and Archie Gray are the two substitutes imminent. 19-year-old Archie Gray. It's the trust that Tottenham Hotspur have in him, playing on the left. Jed Spence, who's been constantly involved since mid-December after 2.5 seasons waiting for a chance, will also come on for these closing stages, as will Kobbie Mainoo of Manchester United. And there will be some added time for all of this. Archie Gray's grandfather, Frank, played in 3 European finals. His great uncle, Eddie, played in 2. What a moment for him and for the whole Gray family.
They'll be watching and come on, he's a defence-minded midfielder, can do both. So there's no great surprise that Jed Spence is going to go straight in at left back, left wing back. 2 more defence-minded players. Kobbie Mainoo comes on with his manager's telling him, please, just create something.
Dorgu has gone off, Garnacho has gone to left wing back. Kobbie Mainoo did produce something in that dramatic finish against Lyon, curled the 4th of the 5. Past the keeper. But it's at the wrong end of the field for Manchester United's point of view at the moment. 7 added minutes. That's how far Tottenham Hotspur are from a first major trophy since 2008. Now there's going to be a card for Ruben Amorim or for one of his staff. Not the Manchester United manager. It might even be Victor Lindelof on the bench there.
They're not helping themselves, Manchester United, are they? At all. To say they've not been at their best, and the amount of goals that they've scored to get here, to get through to this round, has really left them short here. The creativity hasn't been there. They need to find something right now.
Just one thing. It is only 1-0. Dalot. Amad Diallo. Joshua Zirkzee. Amad able to thread it between. Jed Spence now playing at left back and Son Heung-min. Dalot. That's a better ball in towards Maguire. He reached it, but couldn't direct it. His appeals will fall on deaf ears. It's a goal kick to Tottenham Hotspur.
That's what he's in there for, Harry Maguire, to win those knockdowns. Just needs someone around him. Quite get the contact he needed. That's why Tottenham Hotspur have got 3 centre-halves and 4 other defenders on the pitch right now, because they know exactly where it's going to go.
It's already been a season of breakthrough triumphs in English football. Crystal Palace won their first ever major trophy by beating Manchester City in the FA Cup final last Saturday. Here on CBS we saw Newcastle United win their first for more than 50 years at Wembley in March. Spurs have been waiting since 2008. 17 years, 86 days, about 5 hours.
Well, it's just 4 long minutes to go for these fans, but they're just about starting to believe that something special is going to happen to their club.
Luke Shaw. Well, if it doesn't, you're in for a very dramatic finale. Yoro. Amad Diallo. Diogo Dalot.
The red shirts at the top of your screen. 5 of them lining up. They still don't put the ball in.
Garnacho. Now it's crossed in. It was slightly deflected. It's headed away by Destiny Udogie. Bruno Fernandes. Volleyed beautifully into the path of Amad Diallo. Diallo's cross, really important header back there by Danso.
Brilliant from Danso. Took another little nick, and it was out of everybody's control. The shape of the defence had gone.
Yoro. Amad Diallo just glances it into the path of Dalot. Yoro will cross it this time. Porro will head it away. Bruno Fernandes, held up by Gray. Garnacho trying to pull it back towards Shaw. Tottenham stopped it but couldn't clear it. Bruno Fernandes, Alejandro Garnacho. Yoro didn't hit that with any conviction. Somebody had to take a decision.
And it's celebrated by those fans. He looks cool and composed, but
he's not.
He knows he's moments away. This was massive from Danso. See Harry Maguire loitering behind, but you're thinking, for all the pressure that Manchester United have had in the second half, you're talking one, maybe two shots on target for all of it.
Postecoglou's been telling us all season that he always wins things in his second year. Won titles in Australia and Japan in his second season, won the Asian Cup with the Australian national team 2 years after becoming coach. Won a treble in his second season in Glasgow with Celtic. It's not bluster, but I can't remember a manager on the eve of a European final having to field so many questions about his immediate future as he did last night. He gave as good as he got. Dalot with the flick on. Amad Diallo. Dalot. Beyond the far post is Maguire, and Casemiro's there too, and down he goes. But they look to the referee and he waves his arms as if to say nothing doing.
And he threw himself down there, just more in hope than anything else.
Yoro. The last of the added 7. Amad Diallo. Bruno Fernandes. Dalot. Towards the head of Shaw. Good save that by Vicario. Luke Shaw with a crashing header. But Vicario threw himself away to his left and beat it away.
Huge save, massive moment. That was the chance for Manchester United.
Amad Diallo. Dalot. Shaw's there again, but so too is Danso. Bruno Fernandes in towards Zirkzee. It's Van der Ven this time. Dalot can't find a cross. Bissouma turns it behind. And the whole final comes down to this corner kick.
Well, this was the save, and it's met brilliantly, just to be set and ready to get it away from the goal. It's huge from Vicario. There's nothing else left on the clock.
Now or never for Manchester United. Onana, the goalkeeper, is inside the Tottenham penalty area.
Bruno Fernandes not in the penalty area. You can't believe it's going to go any longer.
Amad Diallo. Headed by Bissouma. Garnacho with a volley, side netting. Goal kick. No redemption for Manchester United.
Well, they can't quite believe it behind the goal. They refuse to believe it, some of them. But this was it. This was the end of the game. The last of the throws of the dice from Manchester United. The header from Luke Shaw. It's uncharted territory for some of these fans, Tottenham fans.
The teams usually like to attack the end of the stadium where their fans are gathered in the second half, but it's been great for Spurs to have that wall of white behind them defending. It's Tottenham's time again. At the very worst of times, in the worst of seasons, the very best thing that's happened to Tottenham Hotspur in 17 years. Spurs are major prize winners again. Ange Postecoglou's second season is the silverware season again. A silver lining on the cloud that's hung over him for months, over the club for years. Crisis? What crisis? 2025 is the year that Spurs ended the wait. And the name of Tottenham Hotspur is about to be etched on a major trophy for the first time since 2008. Calls for celebration, you bet it is. It's a double celebration because Spurs are winners again and Spurs are a Champions League club again. What a difference a day makes. It's a strange success, maybe a qualified success. Nobody at Tottenham Hotspur needs telling that there are still questions to answer, problems to solve, but what better way to find answers and solutions than with a trophy in your hands, with a bottle of champagne in your hand. Whatever problems Spurs do have seem a little smaller tonight, and they can wait, because tonight Bilbao is their happy place. Tonight there is going to be a North London knees-up.
Congratulations to Tottenham Hotspur, the 2025 Europa League finals. Final score 1-0 against Manchester United. The 17-year wait for silverware in North London for Spurs comes to an end. Of course, we'll talk about Manchester United and what this means for them going forward in just a moment. I've been in the studio watching the game with Roy Keane, Jamie Carragher and Micah Richards. Roy, of course, a lot of people want your thoughts on your former club, Manchester United, but did the better team win today?
Yeah, I think so. I think we worried this after the second half. They shut up shop very early, and obviously we were just going to be defensive, but they defended really well, unlike Spurs, shall we say. United lack real quality. I mean, United are dependent on Harry Maguire to get you out of jail at the end of the game. It sums up their problem. And I think the goal summed up the game. Real lack of quality, poor decision-making from United at the end. But what a great night for Spurs. Considering the season had, the pressure they were under, the manager, you look at the celebrations there, well done to Spurs.
Yeah, and well done to Ange Postecoglou. We spoke about his many quotes, Jamie. The fact that he said he always wins in his second season. He was really going up against the media yesterday saying he's no clown. He's definitely put that to bed now, hasn't he?
Oh, he's not a clown. He's not a clown. Listen, he's a very quotable manager. He's on the front foot in press conferences. A lot of the time this season, that's come back to haunt him in so many ways. But that quote now will be remembered forever because he does always win in his second season. He's shut us all up. He's proven us all wrong.
Speak for yourself.
But, yeah, even he remembered more for that quote than actually the trophy that he's won, because that's something that's sort of been used to beat him all season, because no one could see Tottenham winning anything. They rerun the rerun, losing 21, I think, league games in the Premier League this season. I mean, Roy's right. I mean, in terms of the stand, it was actually exciting because it was that bad. There was almost anxiety to it. You know, everyone was giving the ball away. I mean, it was a shocking game. But anyone who wins a cup final, with a supporter, a player, coaching staff, no one cares how you play. No one's going to look at stats or looking at the game. It's all about winning, and that was absolutely massive for them.
Look at the pictures, though.
Absolutely.
For them Tottenham fans.
Yeah.
Oh, it's absolutely brilliant. Don't forget there's no Maddison, no Kulusevski as well. I think it showed in the game. Jamie summed it up perfectly. The game wasn't great, but it doesn't matter. No one remembers what the game's like. People remember who wins and sometimes who loses. I mean, it's just a great moment for them, because imagine the pressure coming into this game for both clubs as well. Ange put pressure on himself, but he delivered. And that's all you can do. And I'm delighted for him, because in his first season, I thought he did really well. He's playing really good football. This season, they've been short of where they need to be. But to go away with the Europa League trophy, they deserved it on the night.
Yeah, Ange has delivered the first European trophy to Tottenham Hotspur in 41 years. But let's talk about Ange Postecoglou, because many felt that today was going to be his penultimate game. Do you think, based on this result, based on what he's delivered to the club, he should stay on?
I'm sorry, go on, Jerry. I'm not sure what he wants to do. I think it's a chance for him to reflect.
Is the ball in his court then?
Yeah, well, I think so, yeah. But obviously, whether the club made a decision before this because the league form has been so bad, we can't forget that. Obviously, they can enjoy it tonight, but when you reflect on the season, it hasn't been good enough. But it's a nice problem now for the club to have, because they're in the Champions League. You'd like to think the club will want them to stay on and give them a chance to impress again next year. A big transfer window coming up. They'll have financial backing, of course, because of the rewards that come with winning tonight. And yeah, I hope he stays on. Yeah.
Can I just ask you from a manager's point of view now, and you said he hope he stays on. So does he deserve to get what he wants in the transfer market now? I know they've had a lot of injuries this season. Has he taken the club forward?
Well, when you look at the fans, the reaction there tonight and the win, I think that's a good question. In terms of cup football and European football, yeah, it's fantastic. But they certainly can't be happy with the league campaign. This is where he's got the confidence from the owner. We don't know what the atmosphere is like, the training ground. Is it good or bad? But they've shown tonight they were fighting for the manager. No one would have thought for 1 second they'd keep a clean sheet tonight. But obviously that goes on to United as well. United's lack of quality. But as I said, I hope he stays on. He's been there, 2 seasons? He's a very good first season. The second one was difficult. Give the man a chance. Why not?
Let's not forget this. The opposition last season wanted to sack the manager and won an FA Cup final against Manchester City. Great sort of scenes. They beat Man City, the biggest rivals, and it put their owners in a position where they felt they couldn't then because of almost the supporters. You're looking at the supporters here tonight as well with Ange Postecoglou. It definitely makes it more difficult. But what you don't want to do is lose a manager in the first few months of a season. He's bought a lot of players. Now look what's happened to Ruben Amorim. If he'd have maybe come in the summer, it's his summer, it's his players that he brings in.
He came in different.
You've got to be really sure if you want to keep. What you don't want to do is spend money and then you change the manager in November if it continues the league form. I don't think one game should completely cloud the plan of maybe what the owner was, even though it's a great. And you know what? If Ange Postecoglou was to go, whether it was his decision or the club's decision, I mean, what a way to go out.
Yeah, what a way to go out on a high there. Stick around because, of course, we will get into Manchester United and what this means for the club going forward. But very briefly, Roy, could you sum up how the fans may be feeling right now?
Do you know, just when you think things can't get any worse for Man United, they have. It's been the story all year.
Yeah.
They've been getting out of jail a little bit with European football, and it's been covering, obviously, the huge cracks at Man United. So when you lose tonight, but you can't be, all season they've been so easy to beat. They got a bit lucky in Europe a few times, and tonight, again, ultimately, not good enough. Didn't show enough quality, not enough options off the bench. And again, if I go back to it, if you're dependent on Harry Maguire to get you out of jail, you're in trouble.
Yeah, well, stick around because we'll be bringing you the trophy presentation in just a few moments.
Oh, great presentation, Tim. Could you email me the part about Geico, making it easy to switch and save hundreds?
Oh, yeah, sure.
You don't know my name, do you?
Of course I know your name.